Most people over 70 are obsessing over the wrong number every single night. They count hours, 7, 8, sometimes 9, and still wake up exhausted, foggy by mid-morning, achy even after what looked like a full night's rest. Here's what almost nobody explains properly, and what leading sleep researchers have confirmed. It's not just how long you sleep, it's whether you're sleeping when your body is actually biologically ready to. And after 70, that window shifts in ways most people are never told clearly. Today we're breaking that down completely. What's happening inside your body that changes your internal clock, what the ideal bedtime actually looks like for older adults, and 3 quiet evening habits that might be working against you every single night without you realizing it. Let's start with the shift itself. Have you ever noticed that around 8:30 or 9 in the evening, sitting in your favorite chair with the TV on, your eyelids suddenly get heavy? Your whole body seems to say, enough for today, but you tell yourself it's too early, so you push through, make another cup of tea, scroll your phone, and by the time you actually go to bed an hour or 2 later, sleep doesn't come as easily as it should. If that sounds familiar, understand this clearly. You're not imagining it, and you're not just getting old. What's happening has a real biological explanation. Deep inside, your brain sits a tiny cluster of roughly 20,000 nerve cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, your body's master clock, responsible for coordinating nearly every rhythm you have, from alertness to body temperature to hormone timing. Research has confirmed that this master clock physically weakens with age, the cells become fewer, their signals less coordinated, and the result is that your internal clock loses precision and starts running earlier. Scientists call this an advanced circadian phase, and in plain terms it means the signals that once told your body to wind down at 10:30 or 11 p.m. now arrive closer to 8 or 8:30 p.m. Your internal schedule has shifted forward by 1 to 3 hours, and no amount of willpower reverses that permanently. It goes deeper than just feeling sleepy earlier too. This shift affects when your body releases melatonin, the hormone that starts sleep, and when cortisol, the hormone that wakes you up, begins rising. Studies affiliated with major sleep research institutions have found that older adults often release melatonin up to 90 minutes earlier than younger adults, with their morning cortisol rising earlier too, meaning your entire biological schedule has moved, and forcing it to follow a younger person's timetable night after night causes real strain. So what's the actual ideal bedtime? Based on multiple large-scale sleep studies and guidance from leading sleep specialists, the consensus for adults over 70 points to a window between 9 and 10 p.m., not because it's a tidy number, but because of what happens inside your body during that specific window. Your deepest, most physically restorative sleep, slow-wave sleep, occurs mostly in the first half of the night. This is when growth hormone gets released to repair tissue and support your immune system, when your blood pressure drops to its healthiest overnight levels in what cardiologists call nocturnal dipping, and when your brain's lymphatic system, its waste clearance network, becomes most active, flushing out toxic proteins that build up between brain cells throughout the day, including amyloid beta, a protein linked to long-term cognitive decline. Sleep isn't just rest, it's literally your brain washing itself clean. Here's why timing matters so much. If you go to bed at 11 p.m. while your melatonin has already been rising since 8:30, you've delayed your deep sleep window by over 2 hours. You might still get 7 or 8 hours of sleep, but the most biologically valuable hours are the ones you missed. Going to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. aligns your sleep with your body's actual internal schedule. You enter deep sleep at the right time, blood pressure dips when it should, and your brain's cleanup system gets its full window to work. In one large study of adults 70 and older, those who kept a consistent bedtime in that 9 to 10 p.m. range reported fewer nighttime awakenings, sharper daytime mental clarity, and better self-reported cardiovascular health compared to those going to bed after 11 p.m., even when total sleep hours were the same. And this matters for more than just feeling rested. When you sleep within this window consistently, your heart gets a genuine recovery period. Blood pressure naturally drops 10 to 20% overnight in healthy older adults, giving arterial walls real rest, whereas late or fragmented sleep disrupts this dipping pattern and has been linked over time to a thickened heart wall and elevated stroke risk. Your brain also builds memory and clears waste more effectively. During deep sleep, your hippocampus consolidates the day's experiences into long-term memory while your lymphatic channels expand by roughly 60%, flushing out metabolic waste, and research shows even 1 or 2 nights of poorly timed sleep can measurably raise waste protein levels in the brain. And your metabolism stabilizes overnight too. Deep sleep improves insulin sensitivity and glucose regulation, and studies have shown that correcting sleep timing alone without any dietary change can measurably improve blood sugar markers in older adults over a few months. Now here's what quietly sabotages all of this, even for people who go to bed early. Mistake number 1 is treating evening light like it doesn't matter. After sunset, your brain is waiting for one main signal to start releasing melatonin: darkness. But most homes stay flooded with bright lighting, and blue light specifically, from LED bulbs, TVs, tablets, and phones, directly suppresses melatonin. Research shows evening blue light exposure can delay melatonin release by up to 3 hours, which, for a 70-year-old whose body is already trying to release melatonin around 8:30 p.m., can override that signal completely. The fix is simple. Start dimming lights around 7:30 or 8 p.m., switch to warmer, lower wattage lamps, and lower screen brightness in the evening. Mistake number 2 is eating a heavy or late meal close to bedtime. When you eat a large meal late, your digestive system stays highly active, blood flow shifts to your gut, your core temperature rises, and insulin fluctuates. Your body simply can't fully prepare for deep sleep while it's still digesting. Even if you fall asleep, you'll spend more time in lighter sleep stages and less in the restorative deep stages. Aim to finish your last substantial meal 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. And if hunger strikes later, keep it light. A few crackers or a small yogurt rather than a full meal. Mistake number 3, and maybe the most overlooked, is watching emotionally intense content right before bed. Tense news, suspenseful shows, or emotionally charged scrolling keep your brain's emotional alarm system activated even after you close your eyes, keeping stress hormones elevated and your nervous system in a mild alert state that's biologically incompatible with deep sleep. Studies have found that emotional arousal in the hour before bed significantly reduces deep sleep duration in older adults, even when they appear to fall asleep normally. Treat that last hour as sacred wind down time. Gentle music, a short calming read, quiet conversation, or a few minutes of slow breathing instead. So here's your practical plan, kept simple on purpose. First, shift your bedtime gradually, 15 to 20 minutes earlier every 3 or 4 days, rather than all at once, letting your circadian clock adjust naturally over 2 to 3 weeks. Second, get outside for 10 to 15 minutes of natural morning light within 30 minutes of waking. This is the single most powerful, completely free anchor for resetting your internal clock. Third, build a consistent wind-down sequence each evening. Dim lights, a warm drink, a short read, some gentle stretching, repeated nightly until your brain learns to associate that sequence with sleep itself. Fourth, keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet, ideally between 65 and 68 degrees, using blackout curtains or a sleep mask and white noise if needed. And fifth, if you wake during the night, don't check the clock. Turn it away from view, and if you can't fall back asleep within 20 minutes, get up briefly, sit in dim light, and return to bed once you feel sleepy again, rather than lying there anxiously watching time pass. After 70, your body's master clock genuinely shifts. Your biology is asking for a different schedule, not a worse one. Fighting that shift is what leaves so many older adults foggy and exhausted, despite technically getting enough hours. A consistent bedtime between 9 and 10 p.m., paired with morning light, a calming wind-down routine, and a cooler bedroom, gives your heart, brain, and metabolism the overnight recovery window they're biologically designed to get. This isn't about going to bed early because you're old. It's about going to bed on time for the body you actually have right now.